through the divine agreement, going through the first 7 or 8 chapters. In previous videos, we were talking about the planes in the later chapters, the different levels. And now I'm going through the beginning chapters, and this is on page 14. You're saying, to work on one's ego, one must work on one's unconscious habit of allowing selfishness and its unconscious cycles of patterns of pain and suffering to run or control one's life. And my question coming out of this is, will one become aware if their practice is deepening, or is it something that can happen unconsciously, or happen without someone being aware of it?
You can't remain full of crap. If you're practicing and going deeper, your BS falls away. You see it. Your falseness is burned in the process. So we can say it disappears. Inevitably it disappears if you're actually in progression, going deeper beyond your self-thought, mind, body, world, and ideas of the ultimate. You enter purification, well-being. Knowingness, you start to really know. Not because you're thinking, so it goes beyond thinking. You just start to know things. Those are signs of purification.
Sure, and then to relate that in terms of maybe relations or those people around you, becoming more aware of their energies and what they're bringing to the table when they come and pass through or visit.
Well, you always find resonance with certain people on some level or other. But the deeper you're going into what I'm calling real spiritual practice, what you found resonance with earlier and you fell in love with before, you can't anymore. It's not there anymore. Okay, falseness becomes blown out. Right? It's exploded. Right? Your own and thus everybody else's. You go beyond that perception, say, of ignorance and so on. So you actually do become more conscious and responsible for that consciousness. Because you say, well, no, this is much better than where I was at before, thinking and believing where I was at. Being romanced by this, that, whatever, and whomever. Say, no, that's not real. That's just make-believe. Right? Assuming that, well, people are in love with you for one reason or other because of all the wonderful things you're not. Right? So we wake up in layers. One day you're in one state, maybe a couple hours you're in a higher state. And then maybe the next day, depending on what you're doing during the day, you're even more clear. So you're less involved in mediocrity and delusion and neuroses. Starts to become obsolete, if you can imagine.